Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines videos. In this video I will continue developing the city in which I plan to reach 1 million population on the hard mode. The city is called Bedrock and I am planning for a new expansion as I have filled up the previous first part of the city, the first tile. The second tile is almost completely filled and now I am planning what to do on the third tile. In the previous episode I had started building up this area. I had yet to decide what to do with the railway, but as always the railway goes in the middle in my tiles, so in order to get this railway through the middle I will need to buy this tile so that I can have access to the rail and get it to be a straight line in the middle through here. Before I start dealing with that, I need to first check out some things here. You can see here that I have unemployment at 7%. Yet, the number of jobs available are higher than the people who are employed, which means that there is some kind of a problem. I have more people that want to work, but jobs that they do not want to take. As far as I could tell, this may be down to the fact that they are so well educated that I have only 10% uneducated, while I do have a lot of forestry industry. You can see it here as the exporting industry. Wherever you see these green fine furniture buildings, there's a lot more buildings that use uneducated workers next to them. And you can see that most of those jobs are filled by overeducated people. So what I need to do is switch the forestry industry for the generic industry. I have already started doing it here, where I had planned previously to have agriculture, but I have seen that what I need to do is to get rid of the industry that uses uneducated workers and switch it to industry that will use educated ones. Now, in the previous episode, I've only noticed this while I was editing the video, that I had made this zone so close to the road and failed to disable this part here so that the buildings would not have exits and entrances directly on this road, which I plan to have just the traffic going through. So yeah, and this will destroy a few buildings, but it just has to be done so that the industry does not use this street to get the traffic in and out of the buildings. Same thing was on this side, but I zoned it properly. So what I'm doing at the moment is just using a generic industry, and at one point in the future I'll keep dezoning the forestry industry and creating generic industry instead of that forestry industry. Now, because of the way I have zoned it, that there are commercial buildings and offices in between each area of industry before the industry has any connection with the residential zones, this should keep all the residential zones healthy and without ground pollution. As you can see on this map, for example, this area, well, let's use this one. This one has had industry here far longer. You can see the buildings. This row here is the zones that are high density commercial, and the pollution reaches them. A small amount of pollution reaches the zone where there are offices, but none of the pollution actually reaches the residential zones. So I'm okay with having generic industry here. Now the pollution will influence the offices as a negative effect and reduce their chances of leveling, but nothing I can do about that, just have to leave it like that. Alright, so I'm putting back these zones where I previously dezoned the forest industry as these zones in which I am now going to have this generic industry. Now, some of these zones are really terrible for zoning because these cross streets are going through places where there are hills, and therefore these zones are simply unzonable in some places. Nothing can be done about that. I just have to live with it. I will bulldoze some of these so that generic industry has a faster way of building up here. Of course, this piece here is unzoned because the industry that is generic will import and export continuously through these roads, and that would be a bad idea. So like I said, switching that industry for generic should employ a more educated population, as when the generic industry levels up, it starts requiring far more educated population than when it's at lower levels, while the specialized industry only requires the uneducated ones. Now, as you know, that plan, I should start working on this one. I have bought this part of the line here, and now I can bulldoze the railway that's currently here, but for that I will need to pause because I've already disabled the railway and should not have even played in speed 1 because there are no trains coming through here because I have disabled this connection while I'm remaking this tile here. Now, because this will take a while and the city cannot expand while I'm doing it, I will just pause the game and play for you the part when I'm done doing this. Alright, so this would be the rail connection. It has to be raised so that I can have streets for the city going underneath it. I connected it here. It should be somewhere exactly in the middle. I hope so. Up here it needs to go underneath the highway that goes up here like it is over here. And I need now to raise this highway, add a highway here, add a highway here, and make a similar system like I already have here, which is going to connect with the railway system in the proper way. The railway has to go right between the two highways that are in the middle of the city. So the next step are building the highways. First of all, I need this one over here, which is to go parallel with this one and going down. So I need to start here like this. But then again, it might be easier to connect it when I already have one that's going straight through here. So I might as well start with a straight one. I need to leave enough room so that I can have space in between these highways for ramps, and I believe this much should be enough. Alright, so this is now successful. This is looking okay. This is looking okay. Everything is made so that I can keep continuing to build up this part of the city while I build up this one. And since the rail connection is now back in business, I can let the city run while I toy around with these areas. Whoops, actually I can't yet. I haven't connected this part into here, so okay, that will work out. So this should be operational for this part of the city now. I'll see rightly if I've missed any connections, if the traffic has any problems flowing. Like I said, this is just a working version while I am dealing with the traffic and the city here, and I will fix that up as I keep developing. Now let's see how are those zones that I've switched from forestry to industry going on. Where was it? I believe it was here. Wait a minute. One. This one over here. This one here is rebuilding. It must have been this zone that I had redone, but I had forgotten to disable the forestry requirement for this district. So now this too will become generic industry. And I do need more generic industry because I'm still importing goods. And as this industry becomes generic industry, the goods will stop being imported and used from the industry that is producing them locally. How's the situation with jobs? 39,500 available jobs, 38,700 jobs that are employed, so almost 1,000 jobs yet unfilled, but unemployment still at 7%. So definitely something that I have to keep working on. How's the power? Seems to be okay. The amount of garbage that I'm producing is almost reaching the amount that I can burn. So this will definitely need to be addressed. I think I have already placed every zone of residential to recycle and for the pets to be banned, although these areas I did not recycle in. Alright, must have disabled it in some of the previous episodes to save some money, but I now definitely need to start recycling as I am doing high density zones here, and there will be a lot more garbage. Now I did have another agricultural area here, which I think is no longer necessary because it's just creating a lot of imports and export. So I'm going to get rid of this agricultural area. I'm not going to make it generic industry, I don't think so, because this area just does not support high pollution levels. So as I was saying, what to build here, I'm thinking offices would be the simplest. There is sound pollution here, but there's no ground pollution. So I could have offices here, at least a little bit of this area, and I will see about the rest later. I could have some generic industry, like a thin line on both of these sides, and then add some more commercial areas as a buffer and the offices as a buffer for that pollution. Okay, what else do I need to change here? I don't think I need to change much. The zones here that I left for generic industry are slowly being filled out as my demand has dropped, which means they filled all the zones they can for the moment. I think I have more available here. Still some agriculture building left over. Can bulldoze those. Now they say not enough workers. Now this could potentially lead into another problem that I had, where the buildings that operate with uneducated workers continuously ask for those kinds of workers, but I already have a lot of those. I mean, I am now down to 8%, but I need for that number to go down even further so that they will end up going employed in the buildings that require the educated kind. The thing is that I hope that this industry can level up as soon as possible, so that instead of asking for the uneducated, it can start asking for more educated workers. So the trick is that this building should have simply upgraded as soon as possible to a higher level. So instead of asking for low educated, uneducated, it should have started already asking for the higher educated population. Not even sure why it did not level up. All of these leveled up, well, almost all of them. Some are at level 3, some are at level 2, so hopefully this one will find a way to level up as well. Up here, where was the area where I switched the industry, I switched it here, and a lot of industry buildings are already up and running, generic industry. I don't think I did leave this one as forestry, this one is still forestry, this one is generic. Well, I don't really need to tear down another forestry area because I'm not yet ready for more industry to open up, as these areas here haven't even gone up yet. I guess this can be zoned, this can be unzoned. So the trick is just that the generic industry levels up as soon as it goes up, so that it requires educated instead of uneducated, and for my unemployment to go down, as I think that the population who are very educated just want to find jobs that suit their education level instead of going to work in these industries which require uneducated and they end up being overeducated for their workplaces. So is this road system here operating? Yes, it is. Whoever wants to go here goes through here, here, and then leaves through here. If they want to go there, they go through here, go up. If they want to come back, they can. If they're coming in through here, they go here and out here. And if they're coming off from here, they go in here, go down here, and then go into the city here. So everything is operational. Now up here, how do I draw the zones? Well, over here I was zoning from left to right and my streets were going from bottom to top, so I will continue doing the same thing up here. I'm keeping to the tree-line roads because trees provide sound barriers for the sound pollution, at least up to a point. Okay, this... I think I need to first draw the streets and then do the highway through the middle because it's much easier that way. I just need to make sure that I can draw a street through here. So a train should go up to here, go on. Maybe better to draw the street first and then try to place this. There we go, that's how it should be. Okay, and now keep drawing streets. Alright, so now that's everything operational again. The zones look great now, and you can see it like as if I could zone everywhere. But the trick is there's a lot of hilly area here, a lot of valleys and hills, and what happens is that if I take a street and I hit a cross street, the zones look great here, but if I go somewhere where there's a hill, the zones still look great. Strange. Alright, how about here? Okay, let's say this is weird. The zones still look good. There's no destruction of nice zones like I previously had. Not sure what's the catch here. Well, so far so good then. We can expand over there. How's the situation with my jobs now? 7% unemployment and still 1,000 jobs that have yet to be filled. Abandoned due to what, I wonder? Abandoned because land value was low. Okay, that's understandable. You might as well then not live here at all. So, are more industry buildings going up, and are they going to level up? No level up info. What? No level up info available. Oh, brother. What am I to do with you? Are you going to give me more level ups here? Yep. I see level 3s, level 2s. So that's good because then they will ask for more educated workers. I have ended up emptying this cemetery, and in order to not have any more problems with cemeteries having to be emptied, being full, I might as well give up on the whole cemetery concept. I kind of wanted to have cemeteries because it gives the cities some more reality and believability, but they do end up being a problem later on, as you constantly need to empty them and fill them. So I might as well give up on that and just use more crematoriums. I already have 1, 2, 3 here and just one on this side of the city. Interesting. Alright, so I don't need a new one here. I can just move this one from up there to down here somewhere. Let's see, where do we have enough room? Guess here is good. That should provide with good enough coverage for death care in this part. And over here I also have a cemetery, which I might as well empty. 1, 2, 3 incinerators, so I can add another one somewhere in the middle, or somewhere where I actually have a zone for civil services. That's one over here, one over here. Oh, okay, then it can go here. And that should be 4 crematoriums for that part of the city as well. Now, what else do I need to take care of? My power situation is fine. I can always turn on more advanced wind turbines. How's the traffic in these areas? Looks okay. There are red parts of the streets, but I do not see any traffic stopping. I see a lot of movement, but no stoppages, I think. Up here, same thing. There is kind of a problem here on the exit from the cargo train station, and I believe the problem is because this is a two-way. This should become a one-way, and that should fix this problem. Now no traffic can come through here and mess up the exiting traffic from the cargo train terminal. Alright, and what else do I need to check? I think I saw some red here, but they seem to be just slowing down a little bit for this ramp. But the traffic is flowing nicely. Okay, how is my population now? 48,000 jobs, 38,800 employed. So still no jobs filled compared. I mean, I'm increasing the amount of jobs, but I'm not increasing the amount of people employed for whatever reason. And I'm definitely not gaining that much population. I mean, it says 89 per week, now 100 per week, but I don't remember zoning too much, and the zones that are already placed are not getting filled. So my only conclusion would be, here's another cemetery that can be deleted now. My only conclusion would be that what's happening is that the buildings are finally filling themselves up to their maximum capacity, because they used to not be at full capacity. And let's check that out. 12 out of 15, 16, 17. So still buildings that are not filled to their maximum capacity yet. I have a lot more teams moving in. Now it's 165 plus per week. I'm not even sure what exactly is going on. I mean, I do not see places where I've zoned for more residential areas that are actually being more buildings built. Yet I do seem to have a lot more people moving in. So it must be that some of the buildings are very very badly filled with families and households, so that they are now getting filled. And that's what is throwing me away when I'm building these zones. You can see that there's pretty much not a single zone that's the same throughout my city, because the problem is I never know how much residential do I need for these zones of commercial industry and offices that I'm building. So I keep having the same problem. I think I'm going to get rid of the forestry industry here. It's really badly made because of how the zones are here. So might as well get rid of it completely. And I will just dezone all the industry in this area and get rid of this forestry industry. See how does that affect the unemployment and the number of jobs, because I'm hoping that the unemployed from that forestry will go into the other parts of the city which require a more uneducated population, while the ones that were already overeducated for those jobs working in the forestry will go to the industry that requires those overeducated sims. So the situation is 7% unemployment and the jobs still 1,000 available. Education levels 8% uneducated, 24% educated, well-educated 38%, and highly educated 30%. It would be nice to see how many jobs available are there per education level. So that would show me, do I need to add more elementary schools, more high schools, or more universities? Like I said, there are a few overviews that are really missing from the games. If somebody could mod that in, or the developers could place that, it would be excellent. I mean, I can see that I have eligible sims for high schools, almost double my capacity, but that doesn't tell me do my industry buildings and offices and commercials even need those well-educated sims from the high schools. I mean, I could build like 4 more high schools, make sure I have enough room to educate these eligible people, but do I even need those? I don't know. I cannot see that. I mean, you can't expect me to go through every single building here and add up the numbers to see just how many well-educated do I need. I mean, I would love it if there's some info panel that would actually show me that. I mean, I just don't see it here. I see how many workers I have, I see how many households, population zones, you can see what policies I'm using. My advisor can't really tell me how many of which level of education do I need, so I really wouldn't know how to figure that out without an actual overview or the game giving me that information. The unemployment sits at a high number, while I still have 1,000 jobs that are not even filled. So I'm sitting here scratching my head, what exactly does the game want me to give it, which level of education, or even uneducated. Maybe I'm going about it the wrong way. 79,000 population, it goes into the red and then it goes into the green. Like I said, totally unnerving, and just don't get what the game is trying to tell me. Why do I have jobs available at the same time that I have unemployment? I'm guessing it has to do something with the education level and what buildings they want to work at and what buildings they don't want to work at. And I'm thinking, if I am seeing buildings that are using overeducated workers, that they can work in buildings that are requesting uneducated while they are educated. So am I right to say that I just need more open jobs for higher educated people if they are already working in the industry, which only requires uneducated ones? Maybe the new teams don't want to work unless there are new open jobs at higher education levels. Like I said, still a mystery. And I do need to level up more of this industry, but as you can see, it seems that I can only get them to level 3, the generic industry, if they're very close to this middle part where the cargo train stations must be having some sort of an effect, while the ones that are on the edges stubbornly remain at level 1 or 2. Maybe it's something else, I'm not sure which effect is it that's making them go up a level while their neighbors are not. Still something that needs to be figured out. What now, minus 200? That thing is useless. Can't tell me any good information, it seems. At least the traffic is fine. I've got something to look forward to, that I'm not going to have traffic problems anymore. I guess listening to my subscribers always yields good results. They told me I should get cross streets. I got cross streets. They told me I should get far more public transportation, so I did, and I got a hell of a lot more metro stops. Now they do cost arm and a leg at 17,000, and I'm not charging for any tickets. I want to charge for any tickets as long as I can to make more people use the public transportation, with the public transportation being free across the city as a policy. I had listened to my subscribers when they said that I should fix up my highways, and so I did. I haven't yet listened to them about runabouts, because I simply do not think that the traffic AI in this game knows how to use a runabout, as I have seen people write about that on the forums and on Reddit. Now, what is the future of the city? I will decide, and you will help me in that, and I hope I will be able to develop it as I hope to 1 million population. Thank you all for watching, and see you again next time.